I don't know where to start. I thought we were going to get some clip of Batman and Gordon talking to each other or something. Instead, Matt Reeves gave us a freaking trailer, and they only shot about 25% of the film, so if this is what they were able to film in a mere 25%, then I can't imagine what other awesomeness we'll get in the remaining 80%.
What is the price for your blind eye?
Damn, this trailer was so amazing. Definitely one of the best trailers I've seen. The first time I saw this, I was getting surprise after surprise, and some of the surprises, it gave both me and my brother some reactions that I don't recall ever getting with any other trailers. Like everyone else, the biggest reaction we got was when we saw this. And this made me wonder, is this movie going to be rated R? Because with just one few second action scene, this is already pushing the PG-13 rating, and I don't know if I can imagine the ratings board giving this a PG-13 or even a 12 here in the UK, so this might be the first R-rated Batman movie. Even the imagery of dead bodies seems like something that is taken right out of a mature R-rated thriller. You wouldn't usually associate this kind of imagery and tone with a comic book movie. I mean, Batman has been dark before, but seeing dead bodies like this, it just adds a whole other level of disturbing vibes to this film. I mean, seriously, just when I thought comic book movies couldn't get more realistic and gritty. I always thought Christopher Nolan's Batman was realistic, but then we got a more raw and realistic style in the form of Netflix's Daredevil series. But now, the Batman seems to be even more realistic and raw and gritty than even Daredevil, and Daredevil in of itself is an R-rated show, and this one action scene seems more realistic and brutal than anything Daredevil has dished out to his opponents. I mean, he beats this guy to a pulp so hard that his friend here is actually crying. This is the very definition of striking fear into the hearts of your enemies, and I don't think Batman has ever done that as effectively as he has right here, because it even made me as an audience member feel a little bit of discomfort towards this Batman. And this guy here is recording it with his phone, and this guy here also has a smartphone strapped to his hand, so the rumor that this movie will take place in the 90s is wrong. This is clearly a story that takes place in modern times, and I love the directing style that Matt Reeves is implementing here. Much like what he did with War for the Planet of the Apes, he is trying to place you in the point of view of Batman, so much so that you are actually seeing through Batman's eyes right here as people watch him come through, very much like how we saw through Caesar's eyes in the beginning of War. And the villain of this movie is supposed to be the Riddler. Matt Reeves said that this is going to be a noir detective movie where Batman has to solve a mystery along with a string of murders, and if this is supposed to be the Riddler who is taunting Batman throughout this trailer, then wow. To my knowledge, I don't think we have ever seen a Riddler this dark before. And the message he gives Batman at the end of the trailer just gave me chills and sounds like he is someone to be truly feared. Do you know that oddball, random, artistic thriller movie that you would see, and it would usually be very dark and disturbing, and the movie was able to get away with it because it's not a mainstream film? Well, that's what this movie's visual style and tone feels like, and it's damn impressive. Also, I had a really hard time believing it at first, even when people were telling me, but this is Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Just let that sink in. That is some amazing prosthetic and makeup work. He's completely unrecognizable. Speaking of which, Robert Pattinson really seems like he's transformed himself for this role, and the funny thing is, he isn't all that different from how he usually is. His hair is changed a little bit, but it's the facial expressions he makes which seems to include so much pain, and he looks disturbed. And it's the way he's transformed his facial expressions which really gives you the impression that he's transformed himself. And speaking of which, people getting annoyed that Pattinson was not working out for Batman, after seeing this, I don't think it matters. As far as I'm concerned, I'm sold. He has me shocked, and he can easily strike fear and scare the crap out of criminals, so clearly he doesn't need to work out to bring the fear element of Batman in. And I really gotta commend that. Even I am someone who knows who Batman is and seen him go through various incarnations, so the image of the Batman should be a breeze for people like us. But even I feel slightly intimidated when I see his Batman on screen. I wouldn't want to be the criminal that got him mad. Matt Reeves has said that this Batman is going to be very disturbed and unstable, and you can clearly see that this is a Batman that is out of control, and that is going to be so much fun to watch. I love how a movie can make you feel conflicted and make you question whether you should be rooting for a main character or not, and it looks like this version of Batman will have that in spades. I also like how we see Bruce Wayne witness a crime, and then later on he comes back as Batman to investigate the place and help the guy who has a bomb strapped to his chest. Only he fails and the bomb goes off. This trailer really does give you so much to analyze, especially for a teaser to a film which did not even finish filming. I also like how this is the first Batman where they don't hide the paint that he puts around his eyes when he's in the cowl. I also like the inclusion of Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, or Lieutenant Gordon as he most likely is right here. I am usually against changing the race of an already established character, except if you get a damn good actor to play the part, as was the case when Will Smith got Deadshot or Ra's al Ghul was played by Liam Neeson, so Jeffrey Wright falls right in with that, as I think he is a terrific actor. Also, look at this. This man right here is the current commissioner, Gordon is right behind him, and this guy is John Turturro, who is playing Carmine Falcone. Most of you will probably remember that Tom Wilkinson played Falcone in Batman Begins. Falcone is a mob boss, and in the Batman, he is in the Gotham City Police Department, and look how closely he is behind the Commissioner. You know what that means. We thought the cops were really corrupt in the previous iterations of Batman, but with someone like him in the GCPD, it looks like the Gotham Police are more corrupt than ever. Do you see what I mean when I said that there is just so much to analyze in this trailer? We also see Catwoman in this trailer, and as well as showing what's going on with Batman's early days, this movie also shows what's going on with her early career too. Hence, she doesn't have her final costume either, and has quickly put something together that gets the job done in hiding her identity. But they do give her some tiny kitten ears, which is a nice touch, and signifies that she has not grown into Catwoman yet. Some people will think this interpretation of Batman will be too dark and disturbing, but to those people I say, this is how dark comic book Batman has always been, but the movies never went this dark with Batman. They have gone this dark with the villains, but usually they make Batman more innocent as a protagonist so you feel calm and safe when he's around. But this is a true showcase of what an inexperienced Batman is like in his comic book source material. And I really like that we are finally able to see this interpretation in live action. It's something different, and it seems like the next logical step for the character of Batman. Otherwise, if it doesn't surprise you like this, then it could just get stale. And that's something I noticed. Despite being super realistic, this feels the most comic book accurate with regards to tone and the early days of Batman's career, and this is the first time we are really seeing a Batman that is walking that line between hero and villain. And it's something that the character has constantly struggled with in the comics, but it's not something that we have really seen to this extent in any of the movies, games, or TV incarnations of Batman. So yeah, I can't wait to see this movie. I just feel so annoyed that we are not going to see this movie until 2021 is almost over. That is just too long. But regardless, I am really looking forward to it. I will leave you with this riddle that the Riddler asks in this trailer. If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye? Now, I don't know if this is a random riddle or if you can only know what it means if you watch the movie, but it's fun to speculate nonetheless. So yeah, comment below and let me know what you thought of this trailer. This is definitely my #1 most anticipated movie of 2021, and that's saying a lot when you take into consideration that all of this year's movies have moved to next year. And yeah, when DC releases something this new and different and exciting, the MCU just seems like the same old, with a lot of immature humor that Marvel just doesn't seem to mature from. I'm sorry, I know that came out of nowhere, but looking at the latest DC lineup, I feel like there is far more variety in DC right now, whereas with Marvel, you are just getting more of the same. Movies that prioritize immature comedy and have stories that are so basic and lack weight that you just feel like they are biding their time until the next crossover event. Which, after this awesome crossover event, do any future crossovers really matter anymore? Also, if they could just prioritize the drama over the comedy for once, that would really be appreciated. Anyway, that's enough of my MCU rant. This is all about the Batman. It looks awesome, and I cannot wait until it comes out. And really, I want to hear from you guys. Comment below with your thoughts. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you stay up to date with my future videos. And for all my patrons, I will be exclusively covering the new Wonder Woman 1984 trailer, and will talk about my thoughts on Cheetah. As I don't currently have time to edit a full video for that on my YouTube channel, I thought rather than scrapping the idea altogether, I will just cover it on my Patreon for those of you that want to know my opinions on it. Thanks as always for watching, guys. I have a versus video right around the corner and tons more to come. And I will see all of you very, very soon. Take care.